join me, sing hallelujah. Jehovah Jireh has done me well. Come and join me, sing hallelujah. Jehovah Jireh has done me well. Come and join me. Come and join me, sing hallelujah. Oh, join me, sing. Jehovah Jireh has done me well. Oh, come and join me. Come and join me, sing hallelujah. Jehovah Jireh has done me well. Come and join me, sing hallelujah. Jehovah Jireh has done me well. Come and join me, sing hallelujah. Jehovah Jireh has done me well. Come and join me. Come and join me, sing hallelujah. Come and join me now. Oh, Jehovah has done me well. Hello, everybody. Welcome back again to my channel. Guys, please like and share this live stream as it come in. Happy Sunday to each and every one of you. Thanks so much to those of you who joined me earlier on. Actually, this show was meant to be like sometimes in the course of the week, last week, but obviously because I was quite busy, work, going to my stall and all of that, so I could not come live to do it. So I pretty much just scheduled it for today. So I'm just going to wait for a few more seconds for others to join us, and then we shall proceed. Please like and share as it come in, and let's just listen to it. This is my intro music for a few minutes, and then I'll be back. Okay.
Hey, it's that mama vibe, living life, feeling alive. From kids to culture, news to tea. Real talk, real life. Come vibe with me. That mama vibe, she's got the vibe, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. You're watching that Mama 5, where real stories meet real life.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. So, happy Sunday to you all. Is the first Sunday in the month of March. I pray it's going to be an amazing month of March or for each and every one of us, and I pray that all of our heart desires, God shall grant to us in this first Sunday in the month of March. So, I'm sure you guys could tell from the title and obviously the thumbnail, the people on the screen. So I think there was a video last week, where I think one of the Okoya's son, he was with his friends, and he was talking about, oh, my dad is a striker and stuff like that. But before we get started, I'm just going to quickly do a quick intro on the Okoya family. So I'm sure every Nigerian know who Chief Razaq Okoya is. So Chief Razaq Akoni Okoya is a Nigerian billionaire. Is a Nigerian billionaire businessman and is a founder of the popular Eleganza. You know, Eleganza cooler, Eleganza pen, Eleganza chair. I remember when I was in secondary school, I definitely did use Eleganza pen. Most parties because my mom was a caterer, so Eleganza coolers, yes, she had loads of those. So is a billionaire business owner of the Eleganza Industrial City Limited, and is one of Nigeria's largest manufacturing conglomerates with interest in plastics, textiles, consumer goods, and more. And as recorded, he is one of the most successful industrialists in Nigeria. Is known for building his empire over decades with hands-on management and also deep involvement in operations. So, and I think to the best of my knowledge, I don't think I have seen any should I say any scandal about this Baba. Yes, he's a Muslim, is polygamist, is married to multiple wives and all of that.
So, like I said, I don't think there's been any saga about him. And like I said, he's a polygamist. He has, I mean, I can't really confirm how many wives he has. Okay. And I don't think that I mean, I don't think I've seen any pictures of any of his older children from his of his first or second wife. So it's been reported that he has had multiple wives over his life, obviously being a polygamous man. It's even though while not every marriage is officially documented in every source, but it's been commonly reported. The wives that are commonly reported are Alaja Kubrat Olayinka Okoya, who happens to be the senior wife, his first wife, and married for over 50 years. And she actually is the mother of several of Chief Razaq Okoya's children. And then there's the wife that we see everywhere, the one that we see everywhere and actually love her actually is Dr. Folashade Okoya. We should be practically she goes everywhere with Baba. She goes everywhere with Baba, okay? So she's widely known as his youngest wife. He married her in 1999 when she was roughly about 21 years old and Baba Okoya was about 59. So that kind of like looked like a Redna Daniels and Neduwoko case. But obviously, there's been further other reports of other former wives, including Ajoke Okoya, Yetunde Okoya. These people, if I see them, I can't tell you what they look like. Jennifer Okoya and Zainab Okoya from previous marriages. Okay, so the two wives, at least two of his current wives that are widely recognized are Kubrat and Shadi Okoya, and obviously several more were part of his about of his wives. So, like I said, Shadi Okoya has 4 children with Baba Okoya, and I would say Baba Okoya at his age, it still looks really, it looks well. Obviously, signs of aging. We are all going to attain that age, right? We are all going to attain that age. So, like I said, I've never heard any kind of like saga or scandals about Baba Okoya. But apart from the fact that yes, he married hello OJ, long time no see, welcome. Apart from the fact that he married Shadi Okoya at the age of 21 years old, and it was not as if maybe Shadi Okoya was from a she was not from a silver spoon, she was not brought up in a silver spoon, but obviously she attended Unilag, and that was how Baba married, and Baba met her and he married her. And yes, she's still with Baba till date. She has 4 beautiful, amazing children with Baba. So I would say maybe the kind of maybe saga, maybe not saga, but there were the kids, the Gen Z children were in the news, I think early last year or the year before last year. Hey, happy Sunday, Papi. Welcome, sir. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy to see you here. Abby said, hope you're having, yes, I'm having a great day, sir. I was just playing catch up, watching the video you dropped earlier on Toto and Doris. God bless you, my email. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Papi. Thank you for coming. I hope you're having an amazing day as well. So, the Okoya children were, I think this particular one on the screen, I don't know his name. Maybe, I think it's also called Razak or something. They were in the news, was it early last year or something? When EFCC was clamping down on anybody, like if you go to a party and you spray money now, if EFCC carry you on your own. So there was a video of him and his other sibling where they were dancing with bills of money, and there was a police officer. Obviously, the police officer was being used for content or something. And as we all know how Nigeria is, Nigeria was like, oh, EFCC need to make sure that the Okoya children are being, they have to be arrested, they have to be investigated because they were abusing Naira and stuff like that. But what kind of like surprised me was the fact that most people were gunning for the police officer that was in the video. The police officer did not do anything in that video. It was practically standing. These Gen Z children were just using him for content. And no, he did not do anything. Okay. So what are you saying? Is what you are saying verifiable? What are you saying, or what question are you asking? Please expatiate yourself. Make your question make sense. Okay. So it was last year when that story of them, playing with abusing Naira allegedly. It was mostly Nigerians were mostly dragging the police officer. And yes, I understand why police and Nigerians were dragging the police officer, because apparently everybody go everywhere with Nigerian police. And when you're needing Nigerian police to attend to crimes or to attend to instances, they will not be there, because all of the big men in Nigeria, they are now using the Nigerian police to carry their handbags at parties, to carry their bags containing their cash at parties. So it was a police officer that most Nigerians were dragging. Yeah, other also call. I think Very Dark Man reacted also that the Okoya boys need to be investigated by EFCC because they apparently abused Naira. Yeah, OJ said the Olopa was allegedly holding it. Yeah, the bills of Ego, yes. So it was dragged. And in my own opinion, it was providing security services to them. Yes, it was wrong of him holding the cash, but it was only carrying the money. So I don't know why Nigerians dragged him. But yeah, they dragged him. And Soji, whatever it is you are asking, can you just speak or make proper sentence? Because I don't even know when you came into this show. I don't know what you're asking. Whatever it is that you are asking, I don't know what question you're asking. So I'm not going to respond to a question that does not make sense to me. So make your question make sense. Okay. And please stop distracting me. So like I said, that was pretty much the only thing I've seen out of the Okoya's family so far. Yes, the Nigerian police came out to say, oh yes, we've invited them, we've asked them questions, and I don't think we heard I don't think we heard anything after that invitation, according to the Nigerian police, about what they did to the Okoya boys. And you guys will know that obviously the way they went about things, you will have thought that the way they treated Bobrisky's case will have been the same way they will have treated the Okoya boys. But when money is speaking, you know Nigeria now, when money is speaking, the way situations are handled are quite different as compared to when it's Omo Babuluwo and when it's not Omo Babuluwo. So all of that went there. And I think this particular son of the Okoya is the one who is into music. And there was another one last year. Is it Shibumi? I don't know. I don't know their names. I can't. I think I have a list of their names somewhere everywhere on social media, but I can't put the names to the faces of the kids. Okay, so all of that happened there, and before we know it, but people were like, "Oh, the Okoya family are a respected family. There's never been any saga about this family," and I don't think growing up, I don't think I've heard any saga about maybe older siblings of the Okoya, of Chief Okoya. Like I said, I don't even think I know anything that the senior Okoya kids are doing. If I see a picture of them, maybe I'll be able to figure out who they are, but I don't know what they currently do, so I'm not going to go dig into that. Because like I said, the Okoya's family is the younger children with the youngest wife that we see all the time. Soji, get the fuck, okay? Get the fuck. That's my response to you. Get the fuck. So, like I said, it's only the children from the last wife, Shadi Okoya, that we see on social media. I think Shadi Okoya has 2 daughters and 2 sons, and they pretty much, I think, they school abroad. So, all of that there. And again, in the news again, last week, with the Okoya Gen Z picking were like, my dad is a striker. And I'm going to play that video to you. And I was like, hey, these Gen Z children are going to be the one that are going to put all the matter of the Okoya's family out there on social media, because like I said, I've never heard of any saga or any scandal involving the Okoyas. I've never seen anything about them. So, but like I said, I do admire Shadi Okoya. I just love her gait. I love her elegance. I love how she carried herself. When she's always well dressed, her makeup on fleek, her outfits on fleek. Like I said, I've never seen her in any saga. So so yes, I love her a lot. So with that being said, a video last week was where the young Okoya was chatting with his friends, and I'm going to share my screen with you so we can watch the video together, okay? And people were like, hey, this Okoya, it is the Gen Z Okoyas that are going to put the Okoya matter on social media. So this is the video. So this blogger said, in quote, my dad has 26 kids with 9 different baby mamas. So his name is Rahim Okoya. So him saying baby mamas, I would presume that he's counted his mom as one of the 9 baby mamas. So allegedly, Baba Okoya has once frolicked with 9 women who has in total a total of 26 children for him. So he continued, my dad is a striker. He has 26 kids with 9 different baby mamas. I am 23rd among them. So he is number 23. Voila. He is number 23 out of 26 children. So does that mean that he is the first son of Baba Okoya? Because if he's number 23 and there's 26, so maybe his other siblings are the other 3 which completed 26. Voila. The firstborn is around 60 years old. That was what Rahim said. So let's listen to him.
He had 26 kids.
Let's start from the beginning.
Wow.
He had a lot of kids. He had like 9 different baby moms.
How many kids?
Let's start from the beginning. So I'll just quickly show you the images. So since this is Shadi Okoya, you can see she's beautiful. And this is that is Chief Razaq there. So does that mean that Rahim is the first son of Papa Okoya? So these are the 2 Gen Z Okoyas, and these are the 2 girls. This is the one in the dark skin. She's absolutely beautiful. I love her eyes. So that's all 4 of them. And then let's go watch the video now.
Just say, my dad is a striker. He had 20.
Are you guys there? Gen Z called his father a striker. Voila. Welcome, Vivian B. Welcome, my baby sister. How are you? Andy, welcome as well. Thank you. I see you guys. Please like this live stream as you come in. Gen Z called his father a striker. So let's keep listening.
26 kids.
Wow.
He had a lot of kids. He had like 9 different baby moms.
How many kids do you want?
Me? Maybe 2.
Yeah, that is a
But
striker.
if she's like a worker, like 4. If she can like push out.
Wait. Your dad has 26 kids.
But we're 26. We're a huge family.
But then 26 is not a lot as compared to the Abiola family. I heard the Abiolas get plenty. And then when Abiola passed away, may God rest his soul, they had to go do DNA, and they practically found that half of those children that Baba were claiming to be his children, they were not his. So, I mean, 26 is not a lot. Like I said, if you go and Google how many children did Abiola had, the DNA eventually confirmed how many were actually Abiola's children. So 26 is not a lot, okay? In my own opinion, 26 is not a lot.
Now, in all the 26 kids, what was your own ranking?
I'm like last set.
So you are 23.
So we're like, yeah.
He is number 23 out of the 26. Voila.
That kind of thing.
That means number 1 is probably like 50.
Bro, he's like 60.
So which means, so according to him, the number 1 is probably between the age of 60, maybe late 50s and early 60. Wow. So how old is Chief Razaq Okoya then? So Chief Razaq Okoya should be in his 80s now, maybe late 80s or early 90s. How old is Baba now? So his oldest is probably about 60 years old, according to Rahim here. But let's keep listening.
God!
Yeah.
And everybody is lit.
That one was lit as fuck.
What do you do for a
Y'all
living?
are so close in age. I'm a student.
Now, apart from being a student,
Actually, I do vlog, guys.
you vlog in Houston. That means I feel like
That's one of my goals this year, guys. Jimmy the Oasis
you guys, if this vlog gets to 1,000 likes, I'm going to take out any dates.
in Houston.
Actually, let's do 5K likes. Actually, let's not be cheap in Houston. Yes.
Okay.
What do you like to eat?
Yeah, I said I like sushi and amala.
Sushi and amala. So we'll first eat sushi, then eat amala. So
Ooh,
like, I
and
know.
seafood boil.
Okay, seafood boil.
Get it right.
Okay.
Just say, my dad is a striker.
So that was that video that I saw last week, and I was at work when I saw it. I was just laughing my head off, and my colleagues were like, "Wemi, what's with the laugh?" And then this comment was a comment that I saw that actually got me busting out in laughter. This person said, "I want more." That is, in English, these children eventually, expose their father outside. See, Gen Z can't keep your secrets. Hey, Abby is not here to come and defend this. Baba way some people think say now only 2 wives in get exactly. People, like I said, I thought he only had 2 wives. I thought he only had 2 wives, but based on that, information on social media that Baba was married to plenty women, and his son just confirmed that my dad has 26 children with about 9 baby mamas. Now his son talk him, no baby talk him. Okay, no baby talk him. Let me read your comment before we proceed to the next stage. Welcome everybody. I see you. And Vivian said, "Oh, I've already blocked that nuisance." Papi is replying the nuisance. I already blocked him. Papi, no, that I've already blocked him anyway. Vivian said, "How disrespectful, calling his father's boy's baby." So he actually referred to his own mom as a baby mama as well, because he counted his mom as the among the 9 baby mamas. Sister Ada said, "Atiku Abubakar has 32 children. Lobato, how are we certain that they are all Atikus? Allegedly, allegedly. I'm just asking. Welcome everybody. Please like this live stream." So I was just like, you know what, these Gen Z children, they are no respecter of anybody. They just talk blah, and that's it. So, like I said, it's the young boys, him and his other brother. They are the ones who are on social media. I think the other one is into fashion. He recently launched a sunshade collection, and I think it's this one that is singing. So one of them is into fashion and selling collections, and one of them is into music. I can't even remember the song he released last year. I don't even know the song, but yeah, that was that. So guys, let me know what your thoughts and opinion are based on the fact that Baba Okoya has 26 children with about 9 baby mamas, including the last wife, and the first child is about 60 years of age, which means that he is also a grandpa as well. So, and these boys, like I said, they are just doing their own thing. They come to social media. Like I said, I don't think I've seen any of the older Okoyas. The Okoyas I see on social media are this Gen Z. All the children of Shadi Okoya, they are the ones. Okay, Atiku has 32 children from 4 wives. He don't want to try. At least he was not up to 9 women. He stopped at 4. Papi says, so it means that even his mom is not married legally. Does that make him Papi? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I would imagine that Baba Okoya married Shadi Okoya like the Muslim rites, because Shadi Okoya is a Muslim as well. I would imagine they do all of this traditional thingy. I don't know what type of marriage they had, but I would imagine they did some like Nikai or something. Biba said, I am not surprised. I'm not surprised. 26 sounds about right. Okay. OJ said, Gen Zs don't filter their words. Like I said, Gen Z, they are no respecter of anybody. They just put everything out there. So moving on swiftly, that was what Raheem said there about his dad. So I thought, okay, that was the last thing that I was going to hear or see on social media about the Okoyas. Only for, I think, was it 2 days afterwards, I saw a video where Baba Okoya himself was interviewed. I don't know what news channel actually interviewed Baba Okoya, but Baba Okoya was interviewed and he said something, and I felt like, oh, wow. I pray that may God continue to strengthen him so that he grow. I pray mo gbaladura that that is, he will grow old till he reaches where older people goes to, because Baba is, I don't know how old Baba is right now, but yeah, Baba is old. So like I said, he was granted an interview, and in that interview, Chief Razaq Okoya was asked about his plans for passing on his business empire. So his comments focused mainly on succession planning and also preparing the next generation of his family to take over. So Papa was actually saying in that interview that he is preparing his younger generation children, or his Gen Z children, to take over his business. And I mean, in my own opinion, that's not a bad thing, but there was something that Baba said, which was what prompted me to set up this live stream. So, like I said, his plans is to hand over his business empire, especially the Eleganza Industrial City, to his younger children with his last wife, Chief Mrs. Shadi Okoya. And I would imagine that Shadi Okoya is pretty much being the one, obviously, managing the business as well. So he went on in that interview to say that, oh no, he's actively training and involving his younger children in the business, because he believes that, if they learn hands-on, that is pretty much what they need in order to run the business smoothly. And he also emphasized on the experience that experience and practical involvement in in a business is much more important, not just a paper qualification, because there are some people with all of the PhD they get, with all of their doctorate degree, being on paper, when you ask them to come do the practical thing, they are rubbish at it. Okay, they are rubbish at it. You guys are going to watch that video at some point, but I'm just giving you little points so that you guys will listen to it himself. So the main thing that prompted me to do this live stream was where he said he doesn't want his children to fail like their older siblings. So Papa was practically saying that his older children allegedly failed. That was what he said. So I'm going to say it was a very notable part. Okay, very notable. You will hear him say it. He said, in quote, "They must learn things the way we are doing it. They hold the future. I have to pass it on to them. I don't want them to feel like their senior ones." That was what Baba said. And when I heard that, I was like, that is when Baba eventually goes to where elderly people that have lived life, when they eventually go, I hope the home he left, I hope the home will still be peaceful when he left, because like I said, everything else Baba said, I really did not think much of it, except for that part where he said, I don't want them to feel like their older siblings. That was a big talk. But let me share that video with you guys. Let's watch it together, okay? Let me find that video. It was very short, okay? Okay, it was Paul. So, Pulse Nigeria, and this was, like I said, I found it a few days ago. Chief Razaq Okoya speaks about his children and the future of his business.
We are doing it. It's a secretary which hold the future. They hold the future. 79 years old. I have to pass it on to them.
So, does that mean that Baba is 79 years old? He's going to be 80 at some point this year. I'm going to do a quick Google to find out his age.
I don't want them to feel like their senior one.
Did you guys? I don't want them to feel like their senior ones. I mean, if I was Baba's older, if I'm one of older Baba's children, I'll be slightly offended. That's just me. I don't know. I want to imagine that his older children are also doing great. Like I said, I don't know much about what they do or what they are doing or where they are in life. But then Baba Okoya is a billionaire. So I would imagine that his other children are also doing great as well. Boss on national TV, granting that interview, saying that his business is going to be handed over to his Gen Z children because he doesn't want his older children to fail. Does that mean that while he was making all of that money, he did not prepare his older children? He did not teach them. He did not help them learn the business hands-on. If that's the case, who is at fault here? That was just my line of thoughts when I heard this interview. So let me read the comments and then we'll continue with the video. Papi said, I'm beginning to fear this Gen Z as they kept going against the norms. God help us. Gen Z, you can't escape them. Vivian said, now, so all these polygamous men, they cause wahala, living enemies. Exactly. So, like I said, that was what came into my mind when I heard. I was like, all on Baba. Like, you don't want to cause surutu after you've gone, after you've left this world. You don't want to cause surutu. And such statement is enough to cause wahala. And I would imagine, like I said, he's a billionaire. And I would imagine that, like I said, I don't know what these older Okoyas do. But then saying that, no, I think it's huge. Okay. Papi said, that's a dangerous comment. Thank you, sir. It's beginning to sound like late MKO Abiola family. That statement is simply saying he is yet to find a successor among his older children that he could trust with his business. And then again, if you remember the age that Baba Okoya met Shadi Okoya, some men at that age have stopped giving birth to children. Some men have already stopped. I think Baba was 51. Or what age? Let me go and check my note again. Baba was, let me check the age he married Shadi Okoya. I saw it in my note earlier on. Yeah, Baba Okoya was 59 years old when he married Shadi Okoya at 21. So some men at that age have stopped having babies. They stopped having kids at that age. So assuming he did not marry Shadi Okoya, does that mean that he will not be able to decide which of his older children he would leave his conglomerate for? I'm curious. I think I'm going to drop the link in the comment section so that people can help me out here. Let me leave the link in the comment section so that people can call in and we can dissect this together so that I'm not the only one talking. Guys, the link is in the comment section. You guys jump onto the stage. So let's finish the interview, okay? Then we go back to it step by step.
One is the experience. Number two, they have to learn how to be focused, honest, determination, and they have to be punctual on what they are doing. Of course, our elder one is being trained in Europe, but yet it has to be local ideas. He has to follow. We take out of the factory to see what we are.
So, like I said, that was a very short. It was a short interview, but let me play it again for those who are just joining me. I wish it was longer, Sha. Let me see if I can find another clips.
Just learn the way we are doing it. It's a purgatory which hold the future. They hold the future. 79 years old. I have to pass it on to them. And I don't want them to feel like they're sitting one. So, number one is the experience. Number two, they have to learn how to be focused, honest, determination, and they have to be punctual on what they are doing. Of course, our elder one is being trained in Europe, but yet it has to be local ideas. It has to follow. We take out of the factory to see what we are doing. Not, you are trained there, but that's a different level playing ground. They already have everything for them. Here we are.
So, like I said, it was a very, very short interview. And the comments here, like I said, some of the comments under the video, this person said, listening to Razaq Okoya describe his older children as failures and the children of his youngest wife as his successor just reminds me of an old adage. In polygamy, only a rich wife can guarantee her children wealth. No matter how rich your husband or father of children is, the only guarantee that your children will have a good life is if you, as their mother, create wealth. Every day I sing it to women, for the sake of your well-being and that of your children, make sure you create wealth. The love and provision of a man is only guaranteed till he creates another family. Wow, that's deep. Anyway, like I said, that was a very, very short video. So let me quickly read. Okay, Papi's in the stage. Welcome, Papi. Unmute yourself, sir.
Good evening, Mama Five. How are you? How are you, ma? Happy Sunday. Happy New Month.
Happy New Month to you, sir. Sir, Papi, help us understand what Baba said.
Yeah, what Papa is saying is actually a general theme for most of these multi-millionaire rich men.
For ourselves.
What happened is that most times these older men that worked very hard to build their empire, they find it strange that their own children that they sent abroad for Western education, most of them are not interested in taking over the business, or maybe for them to focus on the business of their father, like he would have loved them to do so, simply because they think they have another dream. And I want to believe most of the senior children, they have other mindsets. And he is finding it difficult because he made a statement. He said they are not focused and that they don't want to learn the rudiments of this business. Baba is a mega tycoon.
Yeah,
he's into so many things. He's into so many businesses.
Yeah.
You name it. I don't think there's any business that is not into. So, and if we need anybody that will kind of take over from him, must be a mega-minded business guy also. But unfortunately, I don't think he has seen that in any one of his senior children yet. So that's why he's lamenting. It's not as if those children are wayward, no. But you know, everybody have their own dreams. And it's not as if they are really looking forward to maybe taking over from him per se. Maybe most of them are already self-established also. So he is not lamenting that they are not focused. They are not ready to learn the rudiment of this work, because Baba built this business from nothing. He started selling thread. I want to believe thread.
Yeah.
From there into so many other things. Now he has mega businesses all over the country. But unfortunately, he has not seen any of his children that is showing as much interest as he would have loved in any of this. So that's why he's making that sound. I mean, that kind of a statement. However, if it's possible that he sees anyone among the younger children that is showing interest, I'm sure he will be much more willing to support that person and bring that person up. So that's why he's making that statement. And I believe you cannot have 26 children and then you not get one or two that want to at least
your business
help you to run your business, maybe after you retire or so. So I believe he will get it. But just that he's saying that he's disappointed that he could not see among the senior children. He would have loved maybe one or two of the senior children to take over after him so that he can retire, but he has not seen it yet. I think that's what he's saying there.
Thank you so much, Papi, for that contribution. However, there's somebody in the comment section. I think Vivian Vivian, you need to come in. The link is in the comment section. But I'm going to read a couple of comments here. So Vivian said, "Oh, slightly offended." Yes, obviously, I said I felt if that was me, I would be slightly offended because that's my father just saying to me that I was a failure. So we don't know. Maybe at some point he set up any of the older siblings or any of these older children up in this business and they've performed woefully. So maybe that's why it said that. But in that video, Papi, it was like, I don't want them to feel like they are seniors. So Vivian V said, I slightly offended. I'll be disgusted. What kind of father says that to his on hair about his older children? Too busy chasing scared to care and nurture the said. Exactly. That was why I said, if that was the case that these older siblings actually fail, because it seems as if it might have set them up at doing something in the past and they did not do well in it. So hence why he is no longer confident in them for him to have said that. And if that was my papa, I will disown that papa. I will disown him because at the end of the day, who should we blame? Just like Vivian said that he was busy chasing skirts when he should have nurtured the older children.
At M5, the thing is this, those older children, I want to agree with Vivian V, but we have to balance it. For him to say that they are failed, that means he has given them opportunities, try them out, and they did not succeed or they did not perform as he would have loved them to perform. And there is also this tendency that my father owned a business, okay, and I'm the apparent heir, or maybe I'm part of the heir to all this conglomerate of businesses. There is tendency for you to want to take it with levity. You may not be serious with it, and then you may not be running it the way your father really wants. See, you have to be frugal. You have to be very, very, focused and serious. But some of these children, they may be lavish. They may want to live an extravagant life that makes their father to see that this one, if I leave my business with this one, he will run it down with the way if I spending money and the way he's moving. So I want to believe that he has given some of them chance to perform in his company before, and they failed woefully. So that's why I say that they failed. So he doesn't want the younger ones to fail like this no one. Now, as per Papa's whatever, I remember the first wife. I think the first wife or so. I can't remember clearly. Yes, the one that he married at the early stage of his life. I think and the mama died. Then later now, he now married our beautiful Shade Okoya. So the thing is just that whatever it is, rich men have their own ways of life, and then being a Muslim also, they can marry as many wives as he wants. So it's not as if about training or not training the children. At least we are now in the world that even though they don't train you, you can train yourself when you grow up. It's as simple as that. Absolutely. So it's not a matter of whether you train those children or not. But for them now, we have never had anything scandalous about his children.
Yes.
So that means that most of the senior children are doing well. Otherwise, they will have been on social media.
Yeah.
But they are doing well. In fact, we have not had anything about the children until the last time when they talk about this Naira mutilation
Yeah.
that now brought them out. All his children have been quiet, both male and female. You know, I remember there was time that maybe one of his daughter married and they were in social media, but apart from that, nothing has been said about his children or said about his family that is bad. So I want to believe all his children are doing well. Even this one that came on air to say that his papa is a striker, he's still in school.
Exactly, still in school, yeah.
Yeah, so and not even schooling in Nigeria. So most of them are okay. That's why I said it's not about him now, it's about those children having the mind to run businesses. Unfortunately, Yoruba people say that children of the poor, they are looking for opportunity, like maybe they can be born by a rich man so that they can work very hard to take over their father's business and remain established. Whereas most of the children of the rich people, they are looking for something else. They don't want to take over their father's business. In fact, they don't even care. So far, they too, they have made their own life and they have made their own successes. So that is the irony. That's the irony.
Thank you so much, Papi. So I'm going to quickly address a couple of comments there. Honey, babe, welcome, my beautiful sister. I will get you on. I'm just going to quickly run through this comment and then I will give you the floor. So Vivian said, is favoring Sade's kids simple? That's what is that indirectly saying. I agree with you. Papi said, M5, I see it differently. Most rich men, children don't really turn out great as they believe they already have their life laid out for them. So they are not always serious to work out to succeed. A few of the Omo Babalos that I know, yes, I agree. Some of them, yeah. And then Biba said, younger children, meaning Sade's children. That statement will cause division. That was why I said when I heard that part of that interview, I was like, if this Baba pie like this, everything go daru. So there may already be fighting in the family. Possibly it can turn out nasty after his demise. That was what came into my mind as well when I saw that. Vivian V said, Uncle, that's not what he said. Yeah, Vivian V is replying to Uncle Dayo there that maybe Baba did not mean it that way. So I think Baba is speaking from experience of maybe he's probably put some of his children in that part of business before, but they've messed up. And yes, as a parent myself, if I've put a child into like, okay, I'm looking at, okay, that's a child. Me growing up, when I was growing up, I know who the favorite of my parent was amongst the five of us. Even till tomorrow, I can still point to you who my parents' favorite is amongst the five of us. As a child, I did not say anything about it, but when I was mid-adult, I started saying, but then that's none of my business. Now them sabi. So yeah. And Ford said, this is not nice to say about his older kids. Exactly. Like if my past say that kind of about me, I will be livid. I will be raging like, Papa, what's up? What's it cause that kind of talk? Okay. Biba said, still quite a divisive statement. Absolutely, I agree with you. Vivian also continues saying, what father says that on her? Father Abraham, the grandfather of Two-Face and David, should take responsibility for why those ones turned out as failures in his eyes. Exactly. So that's why I said, who do we blame here? Honey, babe, welcome. Unmute yourself. You have the floor.
Hello. Actually, cool to say hello to Papi. How are you?
Papi,
okay.
Good evening. Happy New Year.
I'm still
How
tired
are you?
I'm still tired from Cece's party. I'm tired.
You guys went to enjoy, shop enjoyment. Well done to all of you.
Why were you not there? It's not far away. Man. You are in Sheffield.
Scotland is far. Scotland is far.
Okay, Scotland is far. Okay,
it's far,
sorry.
Very far.
I didn't get the time. You know, I was actually going to come, but I was working on Friday. I could not get the day off. I was going to fly down on Friday and they come back today. But my work, they say no. So that was why.
Because I thought I would see you there. You know, but it's okay.
Put that invitation in. I said, "Oh, Sissy, I'm coming." But
yeah.
At work. They said, no, sorry, you can't have it as day off. It would have been lovely to come in on Friday.
Yeah, would have loved to see you because I saw Auntie Grace, I saw Abby for the first time. It was really, really good. Yeah.
Honestly, I was saying to Sissy, like, oh, you want to come? I said, yes, I wanted to come. I messaged us today that I wanted to come, but I tried to get it.
Don't worry, we can still do, and there's still other stuff that we can still meet up.
Yes,
hi, Papi. Yeah, I just wanted to interject. I haven't heard everything. I think from my point of view, I think it's very important that the problem I have is a lot of people, a lot of men, please, Papi, don't come for me. Let me land first. You know, a lot of men, when they make the decision to do this polygamy, they don't actually know what it entails. And that's the problem I have. And I know in our African community, oh, because I'm a Muslim or because of culture, I'm entitled to have more than one wife. But when you actually look at the actual Muslims, you'll notice that a lot of them, especially in the Arab world and those type of areas, they don't actually, very rarely, please, I know there's exceptions, but very rarely do they have more than one wife, because they know how the commitment it costs to have more than one wife. And I think the issue I have is that when you make a decision that you want to have more than one wife, you need to be very intentional in the way you treat every single woman that you marry and every single child that you have. And the problem that I have, and I'm saying this, is that there doesn't seem to be a maturity in the way that you now decide, even if you think it in your heart. And I'm of the opinion as a parent, even though, don't get me right, you do get triggered sometimes and you feel like, why don't you behave like your eldest child or vice versa? I do get it. But in your head, you do not vocalize that you have a favorite. Now, I'm maybe because I was brought up differently, and my parents, I'm the eldest, they really try to show us that all of us, well, I would hope so, that all of us were treated the same. And I think the problem that I have is when you have this kind of, I prefer one child than another, you start sowing seeds of discord.
Absolutely.
And what you don't understand is that it now affects future generations. I'm going to give you the example of my ex-husband. He doesn't listen to the show, so it's not a problem. I'm not going to give his name. When I married him, I was born obviously in the UK with both parents. Yeah. My ex-husband was born in Nigeria, brought up there. And unfortunately, you may say I'm naive, I didn't actually know much about polygamy then. And then it really affected him, where he would say things like, I'm the only child of my mother. I didn't understand what that meant. You understand? Because I'm so used to having friends where there's blended families, and they would always say things like my brother or my sister, regardless of the fact that, maybe you understand there's half brothers and sisters. Everyone was my sister, my brother. So I couldn't understand this mindset of I'm the only child of my mother. Make it make sense to me. And the more that I was in the marriage and stuff like that, there was this serious hatred towards his other siblings, to the extent that they weren't at our wedding. And I was of the opinion, make amends. And he was like, no, fine. That's your decision.
Yeah.
The problem I have is that has led him to have a certain mindset. Now, when I married him, I already had a child. Yeah. And I noticed, and things have changed in 10 years, but at the time I noticed there were certain things he said about my eldest child, and I was like, I'm not having it, mate. I'm not doing it. I'm not having it. And there were other stuff, don't get me wrong, but that was part of the reason why I ended the marriage. I will not allow anybody to treat my child differently. And I'm of the mindset, if you make a decision to marry a woman, I'm talking about my situation with a child, you need to accept that child. And the problem that I have is that, for me personally, I think it's very destructive, because you're going to have those children, the eldest one, now having a certain hatred or a certain energy towards their younger siblings. And when that father is deleted and done and dusted, you now have a situation where there is total chaos and anger in the family, fighting over inheritance, fighting over business, all because, I'm sorry to say, the father has intentionally, and I say intentionally, started discord by basically putting them in two camps. The eldest one are useless, the younger ones are better. Why would you intentionally show discord between your children? To me, that's a certain type of evil. And I say it with passion, because why would you do that to your children? Regardless of their failures, regardless of things that they do, they are still your children. And I really don't understand why, you have our community who, I'm sorry to say, may not have the awareness and education to understand that you have a responsibility as a parent to be emotionally there for your children. You cannot be, pitting one sibling against another. It's not right. Absolutely. And I think coming from, and I know people say, oh, that's Nigeria. Coming from where I am, There's nothing wrong with blended families. I know many, many people where the father may not be the biological father of the child, and you would never know because he takes them as their child. And even with whatever failures and whatever, you still embrace your children. It is wrong for a father to now pit sibling over each other with this mindset that I'm doing it because I want to challenge you and I want to make you the best person you are. It is not fair, and it is very destructive. And when that parent goes on, to delete, you've now got a family that is torn apart by discord. It is not right. It is not right.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that take, Money Baby. Like I said, when I heard that part of that interview, I was like, this one that this Baba talk. Those children might not say anything now, but once Papa grow old and go to where the elders go, the house that he thinks he has sorted is going to go up in flames. But welcome, Auntie Yinka. Welcome back again. Thank you for being here. And Uncle Kidola is in, but I'm just going to quickly read a couple of comments before I let Uncle Kidola in. So Sayika said, polygamy is not for the weak. Bam. They don't know. I have not heard one person be successful at it. I've not heard one either, where all the children and wives are treated fairly and equally. It has always been the same. Like they are always like Idumota. Their homes is always like Idumota because there's chaos. So Vivian V, as for Sisi's birthday, you need to go and join the WhatsApp of Uncle UB as a VIP WhatsApp page. So the invite was sent in there by CC. So it was not as if maybe we heard though, and we did not tell the others. So no, that was not it. No, was not it. So I apologize on behalf of me and Abby. It was not that way. So if it was from my hair now, now I will carry all of you along. So beautiful sister, it's not like that, okay? Sister Yinka said, I have not heard a lot of it because humanly impossible. There's always going to be wala. When you're about to say about the call, I can't remember the Yoruba years. Chaotic polygamy home has always been chaotic, and it's always going to be chaotic. Again, Andy said here that he may have been busy making money building his business. That's why I'm saying here that whose fault is it that the older siblings are actually not fit enough to carry on that business? So he was busy making the money, but then he was not nurturing those children to learn his trade. So you continue saying that he was not around much for the older children, therefore he may not have the same connection as it does with the younger children. It's absolutely understandable. But then again, I believe he owes his older children an apology. But then someone was like, you can't disown a goal, because at the end of the day, no matter what he said, all of this money is still going to come back to his children anyway, regardless of who is heading the conglomerate that he has. Okay, and Sister Yinkus also continues saying that for a father to spew that out, and again, his oldest, according to Rahim, his oldest is between possibly the age of 60. So the person we are talking about here is not a child. So I would imagine that there's 26 of them. Shadia has 4. So the first 21, I would imagine that the 21st will probably be either in his late 40s or early 40s. So do you want to say that even the one in the late 40s, because I want to believe that if you are age 35 and 42, you are still like a millennial and Gen Z. So those in the bracket of 40 and maybe 40 to 50, in a way, I would say they still have a bit of Gen Z and millennial in them. So he still did not see any of those useful or okay enough to learn his trade, but it would rather.
Can I say something, sister?
Yes.
I think the issue that I have is that unless, like I said, I don't know this gentleman's age, and I think you said the eldest is 60. I think there's a certain, when you're building a business, like I said, it's very easy for you to say to a child, 17, 18, whether he had the money to take him, to send him to the UK or the US to do a degree like they all do when they're millionaires, or whatever. Maybe he didn't have that money because he was starting out. I don't know. I think my issue is that what is wrong, even if you don't have the money for degrees and stuff, you're starting a business. Your child is 17, 18. We have in the UK apprenticeship. What is wrong with your child working with you, following you? Like I said, even if he does postman, he does deliveries, then he works his way up. Now, I said, I don't know the ins and outs of the business, but I think for me, unless I'm not trying to judge, but to me, there's some cop out there. What did he do as a father to say, you know what? Yes, I was building my business. Don't get me wrong. There's other fathers that build businesses. It's nothing new. Yeah. But if you really have the mindset later on in life that this is going to be a business that your children are going to be part of. Wouldn't you with the eldest? Start with the eldest. Do some type of thing where he's working. He's basically working, whether it's customer services, whether it's postman, whether it's deliveries, whether it's cleaner, something, and you work your way up. So I think there has to be a bigger picture, or maybe there needs to be more information in regards to what was he doing when his children were a certain age. Did he bring them into the business and say, follow me, be an apprenticeship, you need to learn all the areas of my business? Did he do that before you start saying years later, my children are failures?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Right, let's take Uncle Kidola. Uncle Kidola, unmute yourself, please, and let's hear your view in regards to this.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Thank you. Good evening,
Welcome,
please.
sir.
Yeah, this topic is polygamous man. You see, the man, I don't think father will never forget their children, and they will always have soft spot for them. That he might be speaking, be as an elderly man, right? Actually, he's their father. I don't think they are ready to hold back. Might be regretting that he did put some of them did actually focus on his business. You see, this generation, when your father is so heavily rich, like this man, Okoya is I think in dollars. Way back, some of these children, they just go to school, they have drivers that take them everywhere. They have cook that cook for them. And going to all these businesses where their father have factory, focus on it. Some of them might be busy going to where they play pool. Some of them grow up in London. I think most of his children will be even in London or United States, enjoying life. Money is being sent into their bank account and live heavily well. So maybe this last wife is having now might be the one and focus on it and his children. So I think it's regretting would have put everything for them. You see, one thing about Nigeria, I said this man have worked on board of governors that will run that business. At the end of the day, he have to share some of those property to other kids, and the kids are a lot. I think the money also be big. They have to come together and share the money. I don't think, he have a factor of making this eleganza. Depends who you actually want to lead the team to. If you with that business to his woman now that is actually focusing on the business because he don't want his company to just die off like that, then you have to share all that money to the other ones and back her up with lawyer, the court and everything that will stamp everything so that there will not be disagreement, like that. But to resist children, that's a lot. There are other ones might be bad. The other one will be thinking, they don't think, who are you to claim this? There'll be a battle. Polygamous home actually is not the resources like that. But if they can come together and united, that's a very big village. They can do a lot.
But what he has done now in that interview is enough to make sure that his back is going to be troublesome when he leaves this world. Because all the children might be quiet now. Immediately Baba goes now, they will just start water. Say, this, that, this.
I don't think so. I don't think so, M5. I don't think so. And I tell you why. Man like this. And Brakodola, how are you, sir? Good evening. Happy Sunday and happy New Month, sir.
Happy New Month, my brother.
God bless you, sir. See, I don't think so. What I think this. Thank you, sir. What I think this man will do is this. Before he buy, he will have given out everybody's portion to them. So that after he must have buyed, there won't be any issues to raise up again. Because these days, most of them, they don't wait until they buy before they say, lawyer, share my property. No. As they are still alive, when they are nearing their time, why the man is regretting now that at his age, it's only the wife that is now controlling the business. Where are the other children? I don't know. Maybe he has some of them as directors on some of his empires or here and there. I don't know.
I would imagine his older children
that we see
or something in his business.
So if you have some of his older children at top of some of his, because he has mega businesses. They are not just one line of business. So he could have appointed them to be maybe the head of each. I mean, some of this is businesses here and there, but it is only the wife that I see taking over and running everything as at now. So Amu came out to say this by himself. I believe sincerely that he has a plan because he knows that if he should leave, that's settling everything. His empire after him will just become another history. Wahala will come, serious wahala, because all these other children now, they are going to come after all the other ones, and there will be serious chaos. But I know he must have a plan to settle them before he leaves.
This kind of man, they don't write this kind of man don't write everything finish. I think I think the Elegaza part of it we know might be remain with the last wife. I think the real estate and the oil might go to the bigger children that's already doing that. I think this woman is only. Yes. I think this woman more focused on Elegaza, the suitcase and all those things. I think he's a man who just relaxing, eating life, and buying Rolls Royce most of the time. And if
the only issue that the only thing
big party. These are what is even less.
Yeah, obviously, I would imagine he probably knows how to source his family, but obviously that statement of I don't want them to feel like they are older ones. That was what got me. So that is really the bone of contention here. I'm going to
saw what Abiola did now. Abiola failed. This man still, yeah. This guy saw Abiola. If the way Abiola failed, you start saying we don't want to repeat. These guys are very smart. They might not be highly educated way back, but they know much about business. You know, he is a very successful businessman that live in Lagos, and have real estate, oil rings, all kind of business, all kind of business. Look, but this man there's so much money.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is the problem. This is the problem. You're successful. Sorry, Papi, just 1 minute. This is the problem I have. You're successful at your business, but at home, are you a success? Because I'm sorry, I still stand by what I said before. You're saying that, oh, he has a will, he will allocate, blah, 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 but there's discord. What is wrong with you? Like I said to you, maybe people will say to him, this is not what you said. Maybe have a conversation with your 26 children. Exactly. And maybe have a conversation with each one of them. Let them know that you love them. You don't think of them like that. And that I'm going to make provision for you at the right time. It's all about communication. And the problem that I have with our community is that you seem to think that giving me a piece of your empire is going to be cut it as my dad. I'm talking about myself if I was in that situation. It's not all about money. It's about having a relationship with your children, your 26 children. And there's certain things you said about some of your elder children, which you need to rectify, even apologize. And all I'm hearing is that, oh, he's going to settle them. It's not about settling them. It's about having a relationship. And this is the problem I have with our community. We're very dysfunctional and abusive towards our family, our children. And, oh, you know what? I can just pay them away. No. Being a parent, being family is about communicating. And if you've offended someone in the family, you need to have conversations. There has to be forgiveness. There has to be understanding. And you need to grow in your relationship with your family and your children.
I absolutely agree with that, because that was why I said my parents said that to me, because who knows, maybe those older children do not even know that their father thinks of them as a failure. But then they now do that interview and they're now hearing their father saying, oh, I don't want them to fail like their senior ones. Like, how would you feel?
M5.
Yes, sir.
I can react. I like the angle that you're coming in from you and my sister, Consola. But I have another angle to this also. And that angle is this, okay? Let us say maybe that angle that you are coming from is correct, but there is also another angle which we have to consider also, which may be possible. It may be possible that he has conversation with them over and over again. It may be possible. And they are just not interested. See, over here in Nigeria, a general study shows that's why I like what Uncle Kidola said. A general study shows that many affluent people, businessmen in Nigeria, when they start business and they are growing their empire, if they have 10 children, I can guarantee you 6 to 7 of them will not be interested in their businesses. Not because they are not okay, but because they have other dreams. Are you getting me? So at the end of the day, they will be like wondering, why are my children not interested in my businesses? Because many of their children are thinking about something else. And then even though they try everything, they may not be able to work. But the problem that they always make is that they want to leave their legacy to their elder children. Yeah. And then now I want to say this. If they want to be smart, if you have, for instance, if you have 10 children and you are running your business and you know that your first child, your second child, your third child are not interested in your business, must you still leave it with them? It's your fourth child that has been showing you some kind of an action that this guy has what it takes to run your business. If you eventually not give that business to that your fourth child, they will be saying that why did he bypass the first, second, and third? Are you getting where I'm coming from now? But he will know who among his children can take over his business from him. However, it's not about us.
There's 26 of them. So
yes, God bless you. There's 26 of them.
Yeah. If you look at the ages of these last four now, I think the youngest or the oldest of these last four maybe is 25. So he's pretty much started very young with them. What stopped him from doing the same with one of the 24 before this last four? Because in my own opinion,
he has not made up his mind yet. We don't know his plan. We don't know his plan. Let us not prejudge him. We don't know his plan. Yes, he has made that statement, but that does not mean that he's going to hand over his empire to the younger children. No, that's not what he meant. Maybe among
that's what he said. Like, do you want me to pay you?
Wait. He asked elder children. Elder children, they are more than 10 or 20. I mean, they are more than 10 or 15. Out of 26. So if are talking about elder children, wait. He's talking about now. Let us make it plain. Shade's children. How old is the oldest of Shade's children now?
I think she should be 25 or something.
Now, thank you. That means if the oldest of Shade's children is 25, that means possibly he may have. And then how many children does Shade have?
Shade has
4 or 5. 4. Good. That means that he has 21 or 22 children that are ahead of Shade's children. Yes or no?
They are useless.
No. I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they are useless. So when he came out to say that he does not want the younger ones to feel like his elder children, people will now assume that he is now advocating for Shade's children. He's now advocating for Shade's children, and the remaining 21 elder ones are not okay according to his own statement. So to me, for him to have come out to say that, somebody said in the comments, I think it is revealed that he's just trying to make it for Shade's children, and that to me is a way to break your home. That's number one. Number two is that even him coming out to say that, he must be ready to face the consequences of his actions. And then that's why I said our Yoruba people. Let me give us an instance now. When Abela was alive, during his time, he asked his eldest son, Paul Abiola, did you not want everybody? Now, when he now died and he left his business for them, as of today, now, it's so sad that none of the business is thriving again. Why? Because maybe they could not run it, or maybe they don't know the rudiment of the business, but just because by birth they are his eldest children, so they have the right to run that business. Now, all the business has died. See, the thing is not about having elder children running your business. It's about having the best one among all of them to run it. Why? You know that, okay, that's why I said the thing he could do for himself now is to call all of them, share everything, just like Father Abraham did. I thank God somebody mentioned Father Abraham. Before Father Abraham died, he called all his children, the concubine children, all of them. He gave them gifts and sent them away. But unto Isaac, his only son with Sarah, he gave everything he had. But he sent those concubines and their parents and their wife, and their mother away from him before he died, settling all of them. I think this is what this man is trying to do also. Maybe before he died, he will have settled everything, then there will be no issue after he's gone. But I will not blame him. Though, if I were to be in his shoe, I would never say something like this. But I'd rather do what Only said. I'd rather call a meeting.
That's what we're talking about, Papi. He shouldn't have. I think the issue we have is that even if you do
have a
agree
meeting with them, talk with all of them.
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm going to do. But I don't want you people to feel bad. This is the reason. But every one of you are going to be comfortable for life. He has more than enough to share. He has more than enough to share for all of them.
But
So
again, he shouldn't have come out to say that
that.
statement.
Said what he said,
No, that was a mistake. But that is how our elders do. You know, they don't know. They don't know how to lie.
That's not an excuse, Papi. If things are going to change, we need to call it out. What he said was wrong, and I do agree with you. We remember when the father was talking about Davido. Davido, I think, was going to school in America. And he had to hide it from his dad for a long time because the dad was on the assumption that I don't know what degree he studied in the US. Did you ever hear the father say that, I was disappointed? No, he just, what I'm trying to say is that even with the fact that things don't go the way we want, my son, I'm trying to get him to do his GCSE options. The boy is choosing options I'm not too happy about. What can I do? Let's see what happens. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm trying to say to you, when you have children, you have 26 children. I do agree. Sometimes not every child has the same aptitude for business as another child. And I have no problem with the 4 that you're talking about, Papi, the last 4 being good at business. My problem is, why did you vocalize it? And why is it that you had to say, I do not want them to feel like they're seniors? Why would you say that about your children? And but the issue that I have,
that their father had such thought about their failures.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what I'm trying to say is that even if, we don't know the reason because he's just said it. It could be a case where all of the 21 of them, because have I got my calculations right? 21 of them don't want to follow him in business. He could have easily said that, you know what, I want my youngest to do business, and the other ones, they're pursuing their own dreams, they're doing their own stuff. What is wrong with saying that? Why do you have to say, I don't want to feel like they're seniors? Maybe the children are not interested. Maybe the eldest one, 60, is not interested. Why did you have to frame it that I don't want to make? Because when you say fail, to me and everyone else's mind, it means you're saying your children are failures.
Exactly.
That is what you're saying. And as a father, why would you be comfortable enough to say that? And I think my problem is that even if the children are not good at business or pursuing music or whatever, you could have easily deflected and said that my other children are pursuing, they're pursuing their own dreams, they're doing their own thing. What's wrong with saying that? Why do you have to throw them under the bus? Because at the end of the day, you're saying to the outside world, you as a father, that you feel that all your senior children are failures. You as a father are saying that. You as a father are saying that. And that is wrong.
That's wrong, exactly. So like I said, that was what prompted. In fact, I think me and Noni we're on the same line. We're on the same lane here. There was no need for him to come out and say that at all. And I felt like whoever put that interview out should have edited that part. And it's surprising that it's only that section that has been spreading everywhere on social media, because yes, a lot of people also have the same thought that me and Onibib held. Like I said, if that was my parent, and maybe as a father, even maybe as a child to him, I did not even know that was what he holds in his mind against the past, that, oh, okay, we've done something, we've not done it well. We might not even know that he had such thought about our performances. But then, who knows, maybe most of those children will now hear that for the first time in that interview. And tell me, how do you think they will feel? Like, oh,
and the thing is, sorry, I'm just bringing up what Vivian Lee said. If he's comfortable, and I think I agree with her, if you're comfortable saying that in an article, what are you saying behind closed doors? This is what I'm saying, that our Nigerian community, we have an issue with abuse. Because for me, if you're saying that outside, what are you saying to your kids in your house? Exactly. And I'm not accusing him of anything, but for him to be comfortable enough to say that, there's something, to me, that tells me that obviously he's comfortable saying it. It's probably saying worse inside his house.
Yeah. Uncle Patrick, welcome, sir. Good to have you here. I absolutely agree with Oni Babe, and I think this Baba is going to have a lot of shalaye to do behind camera, because just like everybody said, if you're comfortable to say that in public, who knows what you're saying to these children, or to even the Gen Zs behind camera. And even though he's training all these 4 Gen Zs, you can see one of them is into music, he's singing. I've not seen him blow with the song anyway. The other one is selling, like it's into fashion, selling glasses. In a way, I think it's mostly concentrating on the 2 girls, because those ones seems like we've not seen a lot of them on social media. Maybe you only see them briefly. I think it's mainly the two girls that is concentration on. But just like Auntie Yinka has been saying, you were busy making all of this money. There was a way you could have either, at least out of the 21, there should have been a way that you could have introduced one or even three of them into that line of business. You will have known as a parent, you will have at least, now, okay, I'm going, oh yeah, you come with me. Take my bag, take my this. I remember my mommy was a caterer. But on my weekend days, when she was traveling states, she would take me. In the Darfur that they used to travel around states to go and do cooking jobs, she would take me. Did I end up being a caterer today? No, but I know how to cook. The end of my sisters, even till tomorrow, all of my mom's catering stuff, she's still saying that, oh, when she eventually grow and passes away, that all of those stuff should be, like, she wants me to have all of it. I'm like, what do I want to do with it? Did I do your catering job for you? You know, that kind of a thing. So out of the 21 children, I felt in my own opinion for the fact that out of those 21 children, maybe not all of them sampled or were ever involved in his line of business, but maybe the few that he tried to put onto the business and they somehow failed. I think it was an error. That's why I said, who do we blame here? If they failed, who do we blame here? You can't fail their mother. You can't say it was their mother's fault.
But you now. I mean, yeah.
Business. You could have brought them together. Out of the 21, come on, at least there will be one.
I mean, it's just interesting that it just goes to show that even if you're successful, it still comes back to you as a parent. And it's interesting that for me, 21 children, all 21 children, according to him, are failures. Exactly. I'm sorry, but I'm saying this because I'm going to be judged when my children are younger, but I'm going to be judged the same way. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying, I know that if my children are not as successful, I'm going to take the heat, and I have to take accountability for that. I think the issue I have is that if 21 of your children are failures according to you, whose fault is that?
Exactly. I mean,
I'm sorry. I'm gonna say that it's you, the father, because I stand by what I said. If you're after 21 of your children, according to you, if we're saying 21, for example, none of them, according to you, are successful. What are you doing what are you doing as a dad? I'm sorry. What is going on?
Exactly. Yeah, I absolutely agree. And if you go look at the comments underneath that video, they are pretty much echoing the same thing me and Onibabe are echoing just now. They are saying, oh, who should we blame? It should be you. You are the one we should blame. We are the one. I'm going to read a couple of comments and welcome Uncle Patrick. Happy Sunday, sir. Let me go to some of the comments. Auntie, I wish Auntie Yinkus could call in here because yes, I think she's on the same thoughts as me and Onibabe. So someone was asking that what was the net worth of Baba Okoya. It says that his network is between 180 billion and 200 billion naira, based on recent valuations of his company's real estate and assets. And then Vivian said, Abiola was worse than King Solomon. People don't realize the man had mixed children. Now, the Naija children, everybody knows. This Ayinka also said that of all the children he has, only the last 4 are not useless, in quotes. Out of 26 children, this Baba no trial. He is a failed father. No baby talk him. I am just reading, okay? And I'm sorry,
it's not your comment.
It's clear he probably had no relationship with them, and I think I agree with that because, like I said, I don't think I've seen any of. I can't say this is what is all the other Okoyas look like. It's the last 4 we've been saying. It's the last 4 I have seen most of the time. So Andy said, my mother and father were very busy working. Myself and my siblings were latchkey kids. What does that mean? My mother had told us many times that if she could go back, she would give everything up to spend more time. Same here with me as well. Same here. There are some things that obviously I know I've missed out with my children now. I just wish if I'm able to turn back the hands of time, I would prefer to spend more time with my children.
Sorry, I just want to tell you what latchkey kids, I think is the term that we use in the UK. So basically, I don't think I was a latchkey kid, but I was older. They would basically give you a key to the house. So when you come back from school, you would open the door, you would make your own food. That's basically what she means. Yeah, latchkey. So basically, you would have the key to the house, and you would enter. Your parents would be working or whatever, and then they will, you have to make your own food.
Don't allow anybody in. Don't open it up for anybody until you hear my voice. Yeah, okay, it makes sense. Vivian said, Uncle, is still not room to call them a waste of. Exactly. I just felt that was, like I said, that was the reason why I set up this live stream. I was like, and then again, this is just obviously we are just reacting based on what Baba have said, and I think what he said holds a lot. Holds is quite heavy, and we might just never know. Maybe he's cool. His other children are cool with the 4 kids and all of this, but then again, I just felt him saying, "I don't want them to fail like their senior ones." I think that was a that was a below the belt comment to be made about your older siblings. And like Raheem said, the first one is like 60 years old. How would you feel? I mean, does he even know how that 60-year-old would feel if he heard his father say, "Oh, I don't want them to feel like the senior ones"? It's practically saying that his other 21 children are failures, allegedly. That was what that meant. So Vivian also said he should have spent time doing his business and raising his children. Children learn from their parents, absolutely. Chasing skirts up and down only to call his older children failures. If he's comfy saying that out, imagine what has been said behind closed doors. Yes, you've already said that. Vivian also said, as a Cinderella, I totally condemn this man for that. One stepmother is all it took to ruin my childhood peace. Never mind multiple wives. And imagine a father comes out to condemn us older kids. Now, wow. Like I said, I will be mad. I will be mad. Ford said he has already scattered his family. That's why I said, once this Baba passes, the kind beggar that will happen. Ford said, so of all the remaining 21, 22, no one is good. That's what Papa said, though. That's what Baba said. Uncle Patrick said, Proverbs 16:23, easy to read, version 23. Wise people always think before they speak, so what they say is worth listening to. Yeah. So apparently, Baba.
My sister, you see, if that man, if you get Pico into 60, maybe in a person place, you know, even see Amala when he was growing up, the struggle is way to the extent. At least 60-year-old man can struggle himself out for all those time with the help of his father, money, and everything. But you see now, this man might not be the only one suffering this thing. Sometimes there's some children who just enjoy too much. Just imagine you live in Nigeria. And we all know how Nigeria, maybe the other lady that have British accent, might not experience what we call Nigeria. Maybe born in London. We that grew up in Nigeria and wake up one morning, you check everywhere, there's no food. You open the soup your mother cooked yesterday is empty. You open the other one, there's no food there. You sit down first and sit in the bench and look around and think, where is this food coming from now? Then you pick a cutlass and go to the nearby bush and start digging cocoyam. To at least cocoyam might be your grandmother plant 3 years ago. Then you go and visit your friend. Get it there now. The father is very rich. This guy have no such experience of hunger. To be strong and determined, you get to the corridor of their mansion. Everywhere smelling tomatoes, fried egg, pig meat, Milo, Bonvita, and all kind of things. Sliced bread is being served on top of the dining table. They even have a sliced bread cupboard, or where you slice and put it there.
Yeah.
You think those children who just wake up and see that food and go to school, come back, daddy have a special driver for them. Do you think they'll work hard? No, because this man is giving them comfortability that will make them lazy. So when you see men or guys that are raised up out of deep poverty, hunger made them different, strong. The brain is always sharp. They look how to survive. They want to get the money to be everything. At least he might be polygamous, but his own status is far more different. None of his children pass through all this nonsense. They all dine in London, in America, taking flight, go and come. So his children will never be so eager like him that grow out from a very poor poverty. Father might never have enough even to even send him to school and everything. So he might be seeing things differently. I don't think he mean it in a bad way, but I think he might be saying, wow, I'm almost closer to where I'm going now. Hi, don't look at this children. I'm at my whatever the age at the other time. He was celebrating birthday. So you want to understand
he has a lot of shalaye to do.
Yeah, but the thing is,
no, what I'm saying is,
but 21 children. 21 children, the same thing as 21 children in Nigeria too. Come on, stop that. And it's actually honey babe.
It doesn't matter. You don't want
It's honey babe. It's honey babe. You should know me by now. Come on.
Okay, then you do honey babe, you do honey babe.
Not with the British accent. Come on.
No, sorry. No, what I'm trying to say is this, because you might be born in London, right? And you grow up in London. You might have your bread and peanut butter, you have your tea, you have your toast, you have your every morning, right? Yeah. But imagine us that grew up in the Paco type of lifestyle. You know, our mentality will be totally different. The way we approach each other. For you to know the person like very dark man. The condition that very dark man grew up, very dark man is example of his own condition.
No, but I get it. But I think the problem I have, I get what you're saying, but the problem I have is we keep using poverty as an excuse. Even if all those things, even if all those things are true, I did really enjoy your description about the egg. My mouth was even dripping. Honestly, I even feel like doing egg now. But what I'm trying to say to you, even if those things are true, I still stand by what I said. You can see your children are being spoiled. Then you have clear boundaries. My child is 14. And there's things he does that I know I've spoiled him. I've decided that, no, I'm not going to tolerate that. There's some things he has to suffer as a 14-year-old, and he's only 14. So what I'm saying that in terms of what you're saying, I agree with you. But you as a father, you're seeing all of your 21 children being spoiled, and you sat there and you allowed them. You didn't have clear boundaries and make them appreciate the money that you're spending on them, making them have a part-time job, making them work for money rather than just giving them money in their bank account. Then you as a father have failed.
I think there's an angle that we are not looking at, please. There is an angle that we are not looking at. All those other children, most of them do not grow up with their mother. I mean, they do not have father and mother influence on their lives. Let us face it, because most of them, apart from children of the first wife that I think died, every other one, according to this Gen Z guy, they were born by baby mamas. I don't think he really married some of them. So you can imagine the kind of life those child must have lived. Maybe probably they were with their mother most of the time. Then when they're now matured, they came back to be with their father. So there is no way they could have been able to be like kind of blended into the business for them to be able to pick up. Are you getting me? But now look at the difference. Ever since he married Shadi and they be having kids, this particular set of children, they have both mother and father in their lives. So it is easier to groom them compared to those ones that were dropped by baby mamas or maybe came from baby mamas and they were part of the family. Can you see the dynamics here now? So I want to believe that it's not as if, of course, I'm not excusing the man for what he said. He must take accountability for how these children have turned out. If what he said actually is true, then he must take accountability that it was the one that factored it to be like that. It was the one that enabled it, because he not doing the life of this children. Yes, it is problem because he must see it as his own personal that I saw mistake as a father.
That man, an old man, such an old man like that, interview such an old man.
I'm even surprised at how it's still pretty much there, when it talks and stuff. So
that man, the old man, so certain things going to happen around that man,
But still, we are not letting him off. I think
No, we're not letting him off. Sorry, that was my big problem.
Look, those children should be happy that
he needs to apologize. Those children.
Yeah, but sister,
money is not everything. I don't know why you keep referring. Money is not everything.
Not everything, no.
No, it's not. I'm sorry. No, it's not. Money is not everything. Let me tell you. Let's not do this.
Honey babe, in this case, money may be everything. Let me explain something to you. For children born into that family now, let us put ourselves as some of the children in that family. Do you know what be going on in their minds, all of them now? Now, this man is so rich that even though they decide to settle all his children, none of them will lack. He can do that. From his wealth, he has empire of businesses all over the country, and he has some kind of businesses also outside the country. But what I'm trying to say here is this: if he does it very well, none of the children will lack anything in their lives. However, coming out coming out to say what he said, to me, is not wise. That's number one. Number two, because me, I like to balance things. Number two, it may also come out to say this to challenge those other children.
No,
maybe
no, you don't need to do that by saying that. No, let's not do that. Normalize abuse by saying that. Now it doesn't work.
You cannot look at things from one side and say that's the way it is. No, calm down, because we don't know. All what we are saying is we are just guessing. We are not in his family. We are not in the home.
We are not in the land of the by saying that. And
this is exactly what happened. We are only just guessing. Now, if you are guessing, then I can look at the other side also. Are you getting me now? Maybe he came out to say that to challenge them or to provoke them, that you people are useless. You are not doing enough. That's why it's now. See, there are sometimes that people say something to make some people jealous so that they can start acting. Your father can tell you, how come your junior brother is doing well more than you, and you call yourself the senior? Can't you see your junior brother? You feel offended, but it will challenge you. So I want to look at it from every angle. But what he said openly like that, if it is true and he said this carelessly, without any such intention, then he should be made to be accountable for it, because he has actually thrown war into his family. He has actually declared war upon the children of the last wife, and he has actually declared war upon his own empire. Except, of course, he did like Father Abraham did, settling all the concubines and all their children before he died, and send them away from the kingdom. So maybe that will save them. Otherwise,
this part already settled.
Again, I don't know why. I think the problem I have is this mentality that money solves everything. There's so many.
I have an uncle like this, right, who were very rich, some 70s, 80s, MPM man. He was sending money from Nigeria to London, right? I met this guy 1990, 89, 1987, 90. 87 to 90. I asked the guy, man, hey, what's going on, man? I was to school in London. He told me, no, I didn't go to school there, brother. I was watching Frank Bruno. You know? Hello? You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
So what I mean is that this guy, this is my uncle, far uncle, his children, he said it to the first one to school. The guy is now 60 something now, almost 70. Is that my uncle just died about last year? You understand? He sent his son to study. He had money, constructor, everything. He was sending his money to this guy to go to school. This guy did step into those university one day. Rather, this guy was using that money to go and watch boxing, Frank Bruno fight. You know, I said, hey, what's up? How's London? You know, say, man, London school, man. He said, do you know Frank Bruno? And I've never actually traveled that time. I said, no. He said, man, if you come to London, man, you go to boxing, you go to this, you go to that. Then the guy came back to Nigeria. The father now sent this guy back again to United States, right? Through all that means. What did he want to do there? Nothing. No school, nothing. Now the guy is not stuck with one black American woman, no children, nothing. He hung up there. And when the father was about to die, man was already late inside his 90s. The man that went to US to look for his son. Oh, the time is here. Why don't you come back home? No problem. I have everything at home. The guy refused to come. After the man died now, the boy came, but things are already falling apart. So some of these rich men, that's why I tell you something, that somehow, if my father would have left something for me, my father is late. I didn't get nothing from my father. He said, no, not money, not even my father's cap, you know, not even a land. So I get everything what I want for myself. I bought it with my money. So it's all about the money. I would have been holding something for my father by now. But I come out from a polygamous home that things also be shared among family members. But my hand did get nothing. And that really hurt me a lot. That I didn't have my father something as a remembrance. It's all about the money, it's all about the property. You could born children to this earth, you must leave something for them. There's nothing like, no matter the amount of love, I love you, baby, rub his head, hug him, whatever you want to do with that child. If there's nothing to remember you, just like the way our forefather did with all this land, you will never be saying this is my father's property. That's just the truth.
But I think the issue I have is that from everyone's, I mean, like I said, I've not come from a polygamous home, but from what I'm hearing, are we not seeing lessons here? Are we not seeing lessons here?
Right.
With the fact of the matter that
the lessons. Let's start
exactly everyone's talking about the experience from a polygamous home, and unless I'm wrong, has any of them been a happy experience? No. Because of this is the problem. You want to, like I said to you, everybody has a right to choose. You choose to be polygamous. As long as the lady's happy with it, you do you. I'm all about choices, even if I don't agree with it. My issue is exactly what I'm talking about, is that you decide to have 26 children. When you have 26 children, when do you get the time to cultivate a relationship with these children? When you have 26 children. And the problem I have, and I'm going to give my brother as an example. I'm the eldest, I'm the girl, my brother was the middle, my sister was the youngest. My dad was always harder on my brother, constantly calling him a failure. He went to Derby University, you know where that is, number 5. He did not graduate. He's the most successful out of all of us. He does not have a relationship with my dad because of the way he treated my brother. I'm begging him every day, reconcile with daddy. He says he is not interested. So when you make these decisions and when you alienate your children by doing certain things, be aware and be very much aware of the consequences. And my problem is that for me, even if you want to say, there's a way that I try and encourage my child when he doesn't want to do his homework or when he's being lazy or doesn't get the best exam results. I would never go on social media and tell someone that my child is a failure. And that is an excuse. And that's an excuse for someone to say, I want to push them. There are better ways for you to push your child than to humiliate them, worldwide with a news article. There are better ways to motivate your children.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Item 5. One more 5.
Can we start bringing it home, like Papi? Can we start bringing it home with the lessons? Obviously, for me, I know it's been said that Papi, you are giving Baba Okoya the soft landing. You and Vivian is
no, I'm not even talking about that. I want to say something else because I'm happy that you said that I'm giving Papa Okoya a soft landing. All of you are bashing the man. At least let's one of us at least give him a soft landing. Abba, take it easy now.
Okay,
anyway, let me say this. I'll be a little bit vulnerable here. I came from a polygamous family, and I can tell you, I had the most peaceful life. So that's why it's not every polygamous situation that is worse. In my own case, I can tell you categorically, me and my other siblings from my stepmom, if they don't tell you that we are not from the same mother, you will not know. We are bound together in love, and that has to do with our father, the way he brought us up. So not every polygamous home is a failure. No, I came from one, and I'm a success, and all of us are successful.
99.1%.
Now, let me say this also. When you're talking now, maybe one of the things that saved me was that when my father died, my mother said that they should excuse me. I mean, they should excuse our children from anything that they're sharing, that they can give it to the other people, but she does not want anything for our own children. I was not that okay then, but at least I had it and I was okay with it. But that does not hinder anybody from taking hold of their life and getting successful in life. That's why I like what Uncle K said. When Uncle Kidola was saying that he did not get anything from his dad, but everything he has, he made it. We have to understand his dynamic here. 3 out of 5 wealthy children that were brought up with silver spoon in their mouth, 3 out of 5, they end up being failures. Not because they don't know what to do. They end up focusing on their father's wealth, and they see no reason to be challenged. But I can bet you 4 out of 5 child raised in poverty, they know what life is. They know what suffering is. They don't want to remain in that circle. So they want to succeed in life. It's a natural thing. So the lesson that I want us to learn from here is, well, let us stop focusing on any kind of inheritance. Your father has worked. He has made his own money. You as a child, focus on making your own empire. If your father has made an empire, You too build your own empire, and even though you like inherited your father's empire, merge your own empire with your father's own to become bigger empire. At least you have done your own bit. And so if any one of these children, I'm not blaming them, neither am I saying they are not. Because as we are talking now, we don't know anything about all these other children. Whether they're successful, whether they are not, we don't know. But I want to believe if any one of them is successful, building his own empire, at the end of the day, he can still merge with whatever he got from his father to become a bigger empire. So, but the lesson here is that we should not focus on our father's inheritance in life. Let us always learn to work, get our own empire, build our own empire as if we have nothing from the scratch. Because these people have opportunities. When they were young, they went to the best schools, they were trained abroad. Anything they want to achieve in life, it was given to them. But somebody like me, Anoko now, we struggle for everything we had in life. I had to pay myself throughout my university days. I pay for my school fees. So, but we have some of these children, they be begging them to go to school. Like the one that we just talked about now. He doesn't want to school, but the father wanted him to succeed. So these are the differences. So when some father now came out and said that this my son is a failure, people like us be becoming for the father. Why we have to say that? He knows what the son has made him to go to. So I don't want us to really condemn the man that much. Of course, what he said was wrong. Don't get me wrong. I will never do that. I will never come on social media and kind of throw my children under the bus like that. But maybe he has experienced something like that with them also. That's why he came out and said that. Or maybe he's trying to challenge them also. I don't know. But what I see here is that in a polygamous family, when both parents are there, the children turn out better than when only one parent is there at a time. That's what we're seeing there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Uncle Kidola, for Papi is Papi, not Uncle. We know you as Papi. Thank you so much for that contribution there. And Uncle Kidola, your contribution, I'm rounding up. What are your lessons you take over from? Obviously, you take away from here to men, some men out there. We maybe say now when they get money, now that time new wife, they enter their eyes.
Yeah, you see, polygamous some depends if the man is strong, depends what is the cooperation. But I still prefer one man, one wife, in the sense of peace, children, unity and everything. Even one wife said sometimes little also affect the children too. But just for say peace and one man, one wife, sometimes for now, I think I don't want polygamous at all. I just want one woman. For 29 years now, been going on with this woman close to me here. You communicate, you have focus yourself there for the sake of the children and have a very beautiful life. If that will call your beautiful life, I'm about to say it's everything by the money, but it's not everything about the money. But what we just want is peace. I think this man is a very rich man. I think he'll be fine. I think it's old man. Sometimes it can be in and out because they don't have endurance anymore for some certain things or some certain questions. But I think, hey guys, Naija, one man, now be the best too, and enjoy your woman in everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution, sir. Thank you, sir. Right, Honey Babe, lessons.
I really liked what everyone said, and for some reason, I really liked. I'm especially gonna call out basically Brother K, in the sense that I actually do agree with him. I think that personally that when you make certain choices, deal with it. And I think that a lot of people don't know the gravity and the intentional, emotional kind of energy you have to give when you decide that you want to be in polygamy. I think people need to understand that it's hard, like Brother K said, even dealing with one man, one woman. You now decide that you want to be some kind of demigod, that you want to do more than one wife. I wish you well. And I think it's very important that when you decide that you want to now have several women, you're going to have to deal with the fallout. You're going to have to be the tower of accountability in the sense that you're going to have to hold that family together. Yep. You're going to have to make sure that everybody in the family is having harmony. And if you can't do that, you have no business marrying more. I'm sorry, I say it. You have no business marrying more than one wife, because you have to have a certain amount of maturity to be able to say that you can handle more than one wife. I don't know how you do it. And I think you have to be very intentional with your children. Now, I'm very much aware that not every child is the same. One of my sons has a photographic memory. Another one, he struggles with his learning, but I don't compare and disparage them. I big up their strengths. I've said many times that one of my sons has ADHD and autism, and I say that's his superpower. I will never, ever negate it just because he has a sense need. We need to come to a place of parents where even if, you know, everyday life, things happen where you have your wins, you have you have days where things don't work out. You know, you have to spin it into a positive. And I think it's very, very important. I think it's very important in our community. Stop this mindset where you have to negate a child because they have failed for whatever reason on a test. We need to stop doing that. And we need to see the bigger picture, because I say that things like that, it borders on abuse. I know people don't understand in our Nigerian community, but in the other side of the pond, these things can be seen as emotional abuse when you're disparaging a child with this mindset that, oh, I want him to do better. That's not the way to get a child to do better. I'm saying this from someone where I've seen it happen to my brother and it did not work. Now he doesn't have a relationship with my dad. So be very much aware. Now, whether your children are failures or you feel they're not presenting to their full potential, that is something you have in family meetings. You do not need to have it and plaster it all over an interview to say that your children are failures. And I think it's very, very important as a parent, you protect your family. Regardless of whether you've been disappointed with a child, you keep it to yourself. So I think the lessons for me is that be very, very slow to vocalize what your mindset is. And even if, like, Papi said that we don't know what he went through with those children, there is no excuse. I repeat, no excuse for going on social media or whatever interview or whatever headline or whatever news article that was to say your children are failures. There's no excuse for that. And I think it's very, very important that we should keep family business sacred. Whatever. Exactly. I mean, I have my fights with my family, but obviously I'm a nobody compared to a billionaire. But regardless of where your wealth bracket is, keep your family business to yourself. There's no reason for you to be telling anybody my children are failures. Why would you say that? And for me, I just think is when we say we're parents and I'm a work in progress, I think we are protectors of our children, regardless of even if they're 60 years old. We are all parents, and we need to be, it's very important to protect the emotional being of your children, regardless of how old they are. And I think it's very careless of him, even if he's been disappointed, and he may have been disappointed by those 21 children, he shouldn't have said what he said. And I stand by that, regardless of any excuse, regardless of they're useless, they didn't finish their degree, they failed, it doesn't matter. There's no excuse, your flesh and blood, for you to talk about your children like that. And for me, that borders on abuse. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Onibe, for your intake there. Thank you so much. Right, Papi, you have the floor to finally take it home for us before I end this live stream.
Do you know why I'm laughing? I have two things to say. Number one.
Yeah, okay, you collect, Papi.
Yeah.
Papi!
Onibe, you said something earlier on.
Papi!
No. Onibe, wait. You said something earlier on. I just need to clarify it for you. You know, when you're talking about your ex-husband, you said you kept saying that I'm the only child of my mother.
I don't understand what that means. It's weird to me.
Yes, I want to explain it to you. When a guy says that to you, he's telling you that he cannot afford not to have children or to have many wives.
Okay.
So when a child kept telling you that I'm the only child of my mother, he's telling you directly that I must have many children. And if you cannot give me children, I will marry somebody else that can give me children. So
okay, well, I just that makes sense, but I only had one child for him and we're divorced. That's all I want to say on that one.
Then maybe I just want to kind of explain that for you. Now, back to the issue at hand. See, I like what you said. Everything you said is on point, okay? And I never excuse the man for coming out to social media to come and sell his business like that. I have said I will never do that, no matter what is going on between me and my children. And God forbid I don't have such anyway. But the truth of the matter is that, you know, these are papas, they are baby boomers. Baby boomers doesn't know how to say these things in a coded way. They say the way it is. Most people in that particular age grade, they've got nothing to worry about. Moreover, it's a multi-billionaire. So what does he care about? Nobody can do him anything. Doesn't see that something bad. Or also, he may not know, because it was just a private interview. He may not know that they're going to put it on social media. So he may not know. So I want to give him that leeway. However, whatever it is, you don't discuss your family business in public.
Absolutely.
He's wrong on that. He's wrong on that. So you are right when you call him out, that no matter what he does, he has no reason to call those children as he has called them out. Now, secondly, now I want to project a little further. What do you think these children that he has thrown under the bus, what do you think they will do going forward?
I mean,
because that's a question that
they are grown up now, and a few of them will probably be grandparents as well. I would imagine they will just and they will not say anything.
God bless you, M5. Now, do you know why most of them will do that? Because I don't think they really need anything from him, as it is for now. I don't think they do. Because I kept saying this, we have never had any scandal or anything about, they say, this particular guy that is moving mad is Okoya's child, is his son, is his daughter. We never had anything like that till date.
Yeah, true.
All these children have been quiet, and they were there. They have always been there. Now, my only reason for believing them to be quiet is because they're probably well settled. They are all okay. And you know, money doesn't make noise. If they're not okay, people will have called them out and say, your father is a multi-billionaire. How come you are living like this? But we never had anything about any one of them. So I want to believe that all of them are okay. They're not even thinking what we are thinking. We are not fighting for them. We are thinking Panadol for their own ethics, but they're not even bothered. It's so funny, but that is the truth.
You're right.
Left to me, we need to take lesson that, okay, as a man or as a woman, don't bring your family matter onto social media, because people will take a lot of things out of it. A very, very peaceful family till date, will not start having issues. Oh, your father call you out on social media, they say you are useless, and then people will now try to go and talk to the children, blah, 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 try to kind of instigate them. I pray that does not happen. Because to me, I don't see any problem in what has happened so far. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Papi. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Papi.
I really appreciate your knowledge.
Thank you, so
much. Thank you so much. So, guys, I'm going to bring it home. For me, as I obviously they said that I mean, obviously our age people in Nigeria, I don't think our age people grow with dementia or all of these things. So I don't want to believe that Baba is in that category. Papa still knows what he's talking about, and in my own opinion, which I'm still going to maintain, that statement, it could have passed on, it could have said something, but there was no need for him to put that statement of, I don't want them to feel like they're older ones, like they're senior ones. At the end of the day, he gave birth to them out of the fact that he has 26 of them. If one, God forbid, if one did something and is known everywhere in the world, it's still going to tarnish the name of the Okoya out of the 26, even if it's just the one. But like I said, I wouldn't imagine those older siblings will come out and make noise about it. And I'm hoping that by the time Baba is old and it goes to where older ones go, I pray that there won't be any issues afterwards, because again, Baba has 26 children. How are we so sure say all the 26 belong to Baba? Allegedly. We all know how MKO, even Fela self, we all know what happened after all the DNA and everything. So with that being said, and also, when it comes to this is a conversation, or this is a thought that me and somebody very close to me, we are actually having a personal conflict about, where men will be like, oh, that obviously an example of being in diaspora. I believe that both parents should have the chance to spend time with their children. Hence why I don't believe in a one person or in a one income family. I believe that both parents should contribute financially, which is most important, because if it's just one person that is bringing the money in, it will mean that the other person is the one doing most of the job. So it makes sense that both parents go out there to chase the beans, to pull their weight so that they can also equally spend time with the children. It's not fair that it's just one person. So I would imagine in this case of this Baba, just like what Papi said, that maybe it's out there making all the money, which meant that it might not have had that closeness with all of his children, even till now. Maybe in a way, if both parents, the wife or the mothers of those children, was out there also pulling the weight the way Baba was pulling the weight, so which means that they can all equally have the time with the children, they can all instill and be able to decide or be able to even know how many of those children will be willing to follow in their dad's footsteps. And yes, at the end of the day, I mean, tomorrow my mom is still wanting me to go back to uni to go and study law. I mean, like law, the career mind that I had when I was 17. I am 42. I don't want to study law anymore. So, like I said, till tomorrow, my mom is still asking me, when are you going back to uni to go and study law? I'm like, Mama, don't worry. By the time you are 80, I'll go and study law. So I just felt that both parents should endeavor to have input in their children's life in all ramifications. It should not just be time alone, just spending time with them, because at the end of the day, whatever it is that you input in your children is what you, their parents, you're going to enjoy at your old age. If you've not provided positively into your children's life, trust me, your old age, you are going to suffer. And these Gen Z children, they don't care about you. They don't even care that they should be paying for your cup of coffee when you turn 70. They don't care. They don't care. But I believe that mindset can be changed if you have actually contributed positively into their life. In my own opinion, Baba was wrong. And I think hopefully, like I said, we don't know what is happening behind closed doors. We don't even know, maybe their family is even happy. And maybe this has not caused anything. But obviously, if you go under the comment section, people were dragging Baba. Like, how can you say that kind of a thing? This is that. But it is well with them. May God give Baba good health. Continue to give him longer life. Sir.
Just the last one, please. My wife just confirmed something to me now. My wife said that the reason why Papa came out to say that was that all his elder children are all based abroad, and none of them want to come back to Nigeria to come and take over from him. That's why the man is bitter. So my wife just told me that like, all the elder children are based in abroad, and none of them want to come back home to come and take over. That's why the man is bitter. I think
I'm going to go and give myself a assignment and go and dig all of them out.
Yes. No, let us do that, because if that the man is just lamenting. The man, how can you have 26 children and 22 are not willing to take over from you? Come on. The man is suffering, man.
Exactly.
They are all of them are doing okay abroad, so now they come back home.
Yeah, I think you've given us context, but okay. I give him grace now. I give him grace.
Same here, Olivier. I think that wraps it up for us now. So Baba was actually lamenting. So because he still has the power to capture the last 4. Yeah, I think I get it now. Anyway, may God. I think you is laughing. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go and dig out the older Okoyas now. I'm gonna go and dig out what they are doing. So okay, in a way, maybe that statement justified Baba's, that information we just add now, maybe it justified Baba's statement. But then again, Baba is at Balagba. You can't be coming out and say your children are useless, allegedly. Still saying that, but hey, my prayer is that I hope he continues to grow in good health. May God grant him more life, ahead, so he's able to see his children to the stage where call on dime you want see sorry for those of you who don't speak Yoruba. Yeah, that's my prayer for him. And yeah, anyway, guys, thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank you for having us. Bye, Papi. Bye.
Thank you for having us. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Uncle Patrick, I am coming to Bible study now, or Sunday school. I am coming.
No, we're not for the school today. Till next week.
Uncle Patrick just drop it. Okay, he said next week. Okay, next week Saturday. Okay, I won't miss it, sir. I won't miss it. I wanted to run. I wanted to run to go and join. Thank you so much to everybody who have contributed, to everybody who have commented, those who have phoned in. I really appreciate your time here with me and the lessons that we have made. And also, men, I've also seen some things that men are doing. It is when some of them, and when they enter the age of 50 and they see punishing money, that is when it will be like they should go and carry second wife. And if you look last year or 2 years ago, we saw a lot of men who are celebrating 50th birthday, and majority of them turning up at their birthday venue with two wives. Like, is that a trend or something? I don't know, but obviously that's another story for another day. Thank you so much, everyone. If you've watched this live stream till now and you enjoy what we do here, do not hesitate to like, comment, share, leave your thought and opinion as always in the comment section. As always, do not hesitate to join my membership, support my channel, share. And this is me wishing you all an amazing start of the new month. And I pray that, favors, blessing, good tidings we shall receive in this month of March. And may God continue to guide our going out and our coming in. We shall not receive any sad news, bad news, sad stories shall never be our portion in the mighty name of Jesus. And we shall continue to hear good news about each other throughout the month of March and throughout the year in the mighty name of Jesus. And yes, if you're in the UK, go and support my small business. I sell scented candles. I mean, you can see it on my social media handle there. And we ship throughout the UK. And Mother's Day is around the corner. There's lots of product. I sell scented candles. You can gift. It's still cold in the UK, so you can still gift your friends, your mom, scented candles, wax melts, body butter, and all of that. Support this site also. Emma Kowo Losita. Don't spend the money you're supposed to spend with me. Don't go and spend it at Joe Malone's. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Have an amazing week ahead, and I will touch base with you guys. I'm not sure when I'm going to come live because I'm working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'm off Thursday, Friday. So if at all, maybe I might be able to squeeze in a video here and there. If not, you guys will see me on Thursday. Have an amazing week ahead, and yeah, take care, guys. Bye.
It's that mama 5, living life, feeling alive. From kids to culture, news to tea. Real talk, real life. Come vibe with me. That mama 5, she's got the vibe, yeah.
Watching that Mama 5, where real stories meet real life.